Hello everyone, welcome back to Club at 22, the Rangers podcast, and to a special episode of Club Deck Corner as we do a Punters Q&A special, mostly because Sunday's game was not much to write home about, and I think Ali and I covered all we pretty much could on Sunday regarding that game, so we decided to open it up to the floor. Always one of our favourite podcasts to do, and tonight is all about you. It's live. Rangers Q&A, nothing is off limits. We're getting stuck into everything surrounding the club right now. We're going to kick off with a few questions from our members, our channel members that I put a post up and for our channel members to ask, and then we'll come to the live chat and we'll go through as many as we can without being here all night. So let's get into it. My name is Scott Carney. Joining me tonight, first of all, is Ali Pearson. Ali, how are you?
Yeah, very well. Disappointed we're not talking about that St Mirren game. I was looking forward to talking
Really?
about that again.
Somebody will ask a question about it, mate.
Somebody will. I know we were quite negative on it on Sunday, and a couple of days passed. I don't change my opinion on how bad the Rangers were, but at the same time, I'll be a hypocrite in terms of what I said pre the game as well, that it's all about winning games of football at the moment, at the end of the season. And if Rangers do what they did on Sunday, but win games of football at the end of the season, I will take it every day of the week. It's just when you're watching it and we do an immediate post-match on it, obviously your emotions are heightened. But yes, it wasn't great to watch, but the bonus was we got 3 points and got out of there. So I just thought I'd say that in case folk jump on and say how negative we are, Carney. So.
Did you hear that there, Ryan? Ali didn't want to talk about it, mate, and he spent like a full minute talking about it. So, I mean, it made sense. Yeah, Ryan, how are you, mate?
I'm okay, mate. Good to see you. Straight in a bit of positivity there for Pearson. That's him got us winning the league again. I love it, but I won't lie to you, boys. I wasn't going to be rewatching that game before we jumped in the pod. So when you said we're doing a Q&A, I said, I am available. I can do that. That's not a problem. No analysis for me after a game like that. Looking forward to this. I quite enjoy the Q&As. Looking forward to asking them what Pearson's favourite dinner is and whatever like that. So I'm sure that's the kind of questions that will be coming in.
There's some good memory there. That's some very good memory there getting shown by Dynamite Heady.
I wouldn't say that.
I think it's in lads. Come on, you've been on this podcast. It's in reference to when Ryan picked a striker had been Marco Negri to play up top. Surely that's what it is. Surely that's what it is.
It must be that reference. It's got to be the Negri reference. I don't think I look like him, so no.
No, definitely not. But yeah, it must be that. It's got to be. But yeah, look, we love generally doing these, and thought it'd be a little bit different and kind of do it on a Tuesday. I think we usually do it on a Friday during the international break, but we thought we'd mix things up a bit. So yeah, we will hopefully try and get to the chat as well. But I do obviously all our channel members have asked some questions, so we'll get straight right into it. From Gaz the Bangkok Bear, Ali, name 4 of the current squad that will not be Ibrox next season, and I'm going to presume that we don't include loan players right now in that. So ones that will be returning on loan that we probably know are Cornelius, Giga,
Aarons.
Who else? Scott Olsen, Aarons. Yes, are they the 4? I don't think there's any other ones, is there?
Mikey Moore potentially might return.
Moore potentially Mikey Moore. So yeah, out with the loans. I would have thought. What 4 will not be Ibrox next season? In your very valued professional opinion.
Oh. There's a few I'd get rid of in a heartbeat if I could, but ones that I think Rangers...
You can go down that road as well if you like.
Yeah, well, I'll go with what I think Rangers will try to take off their books in the summer. There's probably a few they'll try to get rid of. I'll start for the top and work my way down. Miovski, I think he's one. Miovski's one that I think... Rangers will try to get rid of. I think you've seen recently that Danny Rule doesn't rate Miovski. I mean, he didn't even come on against Celtic in extra time when we're looking for a goal, etc. I don't think he trusts him. He came on the last, whatever it was, 5-10 minutes against St Mirren because he had to come on because the two guys have blown out their arse. So I think he's one. Asgard's another one. A guy that bit of a show pony for me. Nice tricks, flicks, but too slow for Scottish football. To move the ball quick enough. I think we could get rid of him back down to England to the Championship. He's a similar profile of Kieran Dowell and things like that, where I think he's got a kind of reputation of to say down there. So I think we'll be able to get rid of him. He will go. Controversial, it isn't controversial. Nico Raskin, hopefully has a World Cup. I would move him on. Value, I don't know what he's worth. I think Ryan said it donkeys ago that some Rangers fans need to wake up in terms of the price they think Rangers will get for him. I don't think we'll get overly much for Nico Raskin, but I would move him on. Mr. Graham, Matondo. Yes, well, his contract's up in the summer, so I don't really count him because he will go anyway because his contract's up. So
I reckon we're probably more at the starting 11, if you like. The more, I mean, Matondo's not anywhere near the picture, let's be honest. So we'll stick to more the kind of starting players.
No, so I've got 3 there, and another player. I mean, Tav's contract's up as well. I think he'll go too. Another player to leave the club. Jack Butland.
Ooh.
Controversial. I think we need a new goalkeeper in the summer. Can we get better than Jack Butland? I don't know. Jack Butland's got his flaws, but he is a good shot stopper. I would be looking at a new goalkeeper. So that's the 4 I'll go for. And like I say, the Butland's may be controversial, but that's the 4.
Yeah, I think there's some that will leave that I don't necessarily want to leave, but I think the offers are too good for them. Yeah, I think Fernandes and Romans are the 2 that fall into that bracket right now because I think there could be silly money. Well, Rangers could be tempted, that's what I'm going to say. And I think Fernandes more than Romans. I think it could potentially be them. Miovski, yeah, I think we need to cut our losses there. Asgard, I'm not going to disagree with. Kisama would be another one I wouldn't be sick of. Sad to see the back of.
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man, yeah, there is a number of them. But yeah, I think the big ones, Raskin, Tavernier, I don't think they'll be here next season. Fernandes is one that I hope we manage to keep hold of, but I think Rangers will struggle to keep a hold of him because he fits that style that most big leagues are looking for in terms of a kind of composed centre half that can take the ball, no bother, beat a man. Like he is very good at it. Hearts and mouth stuff, yeah. But I think we struggle with that, and the Romans I would hate to see go, but I think if he continues the way he's going, there's somebody surely somewhere's going to be going like, we might as well take a punt on this guy. He seems to have hit the ground running at Rangers, and he's that kind of modern fullback where he can defend and attack. So, Ryan, anything different?
Not majorly. I think Tavernier and Raskin are big ones that I would be looking to move on and upgrade on. I think they're both still big players for Rangers. They start regularly, maybe not Tavernier so much recently, but they've been big players for Rangers recently. And I think we need to let those. They're not the future of Rangers, in my opinion, Tavernier and Raskin. So I think I'd be looking to let them go and upgrade. I kind of agree with Ali on Butland. If we hold on to him and bring in a better goalkeeper, would be interesting. But I think those are the big ones for me. When I look at the front players, we just need more firepower. So if we let Miovski or any of them go, to be honest with you, it wouldn't really surprise me. But we just need upgrades all over the pitch, and to do that, we probably need to get rid of some big earners, which is your Butlands, Taverniers, Raskins, players like that who aren't performing.
Yeah, Yeah, I completely agree. Thank you very much, guys. Hope you're keeping well, mate. Chris McLeese asks, what's your favourite part of the Ibrox tour? I'll go first. I'll never get sick of walking down the tunnel. It's something that I'll never get sick of. The feeling that you get when you walk down the tunnel is like nothing else to me. It's just, you're in your head, you're a wee boy, you're dreaming of the day that you put on the Rangers top and you're running out there in an old firm to go give them a doing. Yeah, I mean, I'll never get, even thinking about it now, the hairs on my arms and that are standing up. So I love it, and I don't think I'd ever get sick of it. Ali?
The tunnel's the big one. I know they press that wee button to play Simply the Best when you walk down, and it's the full version as well when you go down. But no, being in the dressing room, that's a one for me, because you think of the amount of great players that have been in that dressing room, and the dressing room stayed the same from what it was. It's not a modern day dressing room like you see in say, like if you go to Man City or whatever it is, or Liverpool or Tottenham, whatever it is. So it's very, very old school, and there's a lot of history there. And you think of all the players that have sat there over the years, and you get a chance to sit there as well. So yeah, the dressing room for me is a special one to sit there.
Ryan, obviously we were very fortunate due to the fantastic generosity of the club at 22 Faithful, mate, that bought tickets for the raffle at the live show that we got to go along, mate, so it's quite fresh in our memories. But anything different from you, mate, that you would never get sick of at doing the Ibrox tour? All of it, really, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, all of it. I think we said a couple of times when we were in there, like, you still get that feeling that you're maybe 8-9 years old. I'm just kind of reflecting on when the first time I walked in there. It's the entrance for me, Carney. The entrance is breathtaking. The marble staircase, everything about it is just so grand and really traditional, and something that shows why Rangers are such a great club with the history they've got. It's a fantastic stadium. We probably take it for granted because we just go all the time. But when you have those moments and it isn't match day and you're in there and it's all quiet and your emotions are aside, it kind of catches you off guard. It is breathtaking. You're in it. It's why it's a great stadium. I've been to a lot of football stadiums, like Bernabeu, San Siro, Nou Camp, to name a few, and I mean it when I say it. They don't touch Ibrox. They just don't. There's just something so unique by it, and it's not a media trained kind of comment when you hear European managers coming here and saying, there's something special about Ibrox. There is. We're so lucky to have it. It's that main stand that is just iconic. And when I walk in those front doors, Carmen, there's just a wee butterfly feeling of, wow, like, think of the players who have came here, think of the players who have signed and come down those stairs, had their picture taken, the managers. I mean, I'm talking from back in the day as well, before we were even born. It's there's something special about the entrance Ibrox for me, Carney.
Yeah, and they're bringing back the oval desk. We found that out at the charity foundation. They're bringing back the kind of oval desk in the middle that they took away, which is good. I don't know why they got rid of it in the first place, but yeah, it deserves a grand entrance instead of and a bit of IKEA furniture really parked in the middle, or it was parked over at the side at one point as well. It definitely deserves that. It definitely deserves it. But yeah, spot on. Thank you very much for the question, mate. Very much appreciated. Gav Fleming asked, he's asked questions that we've already kind of really answered. Looking at the current Rangers squad, which players do you definitely keep and which ones would you move on this summer? We kind of covered that. Also, Ryan, the second part we will answer. Also, do you think there's a natural captain already in the squad for next season, or does the club need to bring in a new leader? Obviously, taken away from the fabulous captain that is James Tavernier, Ryan. So, who would what do you think of that? Do you think there is somebody a natural replacement for James Tavernier, or is it something that the club need to address?
I think there is, but we all know his issue is fitness. I mean, I love John Sterling. I just think the way he applies himself on a football pitch is how I try to say to my sons to do it. Like, give everything, no matter who you're playing against. You know you'll probably get beat against a big team, but give everything, leave it all out there, commit yourself to tackles, win your battles. He does that, and he's got that kind of that understanding. He knows how to play the dark arts, and he's got that understanding of what it means up here. the wee digs in social media, things like that. I like the way he goes about his business, but he doesn't lose the head the way maybe an Alfredo Morelos lost the head. He's very cool, and I just wish he could be fit and reliable, and he's not, unfortunately. But if I was forced, I would say that's the kind of person I would like to be captain. As it stands just now, I don't see a captain in the team at the moment that could take that armband off Tavernier. But we need one, Carney. We are absolutely crying out for a leader, and we spoke about leadership 3 years ago. I know I could probably go on about this for the next half hour, but we spoke about this in the pod 3 years ago. We need new leadership. We were promised it. I think it was it Clermont or before? I can't remember. We were promised a new leadership group coming in. It didn't happen. Whether it was money, the management, whoever it was, and we still lack it. You still see it in games where we can't see ourselves over the line. The game management, we see it, and we are crying out for leadership. And that's where the 49ers maybe need to look at this and say, in the summer, we won't need to buy certain players. It's leadership we need to look at. We need to go and buy captains. And I think, don't chuckle when I say it, but I think they maybe made an attempt when they brought Robin Proper in. I thought they thought, he's a captain. Was it 20 he came from? He's a captain of 20. This could be the answer to this. He wasn't. But that is the kind of thing we need to be looking at. We need to go and buy someone's captain who is established and not a project player. But I'm away on a tangent there. No, I can't think of anyone in the current squad apart from Deshaun Sterling.
No, mate, I agree. I think the only one that came close to replacing Tavernier was Goldson, really. I would have had Goldson as a captain all day long, of course. Even Balogun to an extent as well. I would have had Balogun as a captain as well. But it's not a James Tavernier bashing, but I think we all know that this is probably the last year. Well, we've said that for the past 5 years about James Tavernier at Rangers. Most have said that anyway. But Ali, what do you think about the... what do you think about that? Is there a natural replacement for James Tavernier? Should this finally be James Tavernier's last season at Rangers?
No, I don't think so. We've talked about the lack of, as Ryan says, their leaders. I think that's what might bite us in the arse in terms of how this season may end, in terms of the guys we have on the park. When the chips are down, there's no many guys to turn to. You look at the Tav's the captain, but you look at vice captains or who guys have had the armband this season. John Suter, God, bombshell.
Your favourite, mate. Your favourite.
My favourite, but I've been proven correct again. I'll put him in Danilo's camp, so the two of them can sit there. Jack Butland, again, has been given the captaincy to this in certain games. Again, no leader for me. Jack Butland talks brilliantly in interviews, but on the pitch, no leader for me. I've seen some in the comments here put Connor Barn. I like Connor Barn. I like his attitude. I like everything he gives. Is he a captain at Rangers? No. He's a squad player for Rangers for me. That's what I've said. So, yeah, I agree with Ryan. I think, and I've said it for a while, I thought when Russell Martin came in this summer, he would bring in his own captain into Rangers, and he didn't. Tabs had the captaincy for donkeys now. So I think in the summer, Danny Rule has got to go in and get somebody, a new captain at Rangers. Ideally, I would like the middle of the park. If I could pick where my captain would be, it would be a Barry Ferguson type middle guy in the middle of the park. I'm a bit old school in terms of if I like a guy that's a bit barks a lot, a bit aggressive, a bit of a bastard there a set in the middle of the park. That's what I would like as a captain for Rangers. No Rangers on tour put Romans. He could be a potential shout after a season maybe, but at the present point, no, there's nobody there for me, Carney.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. Excuse me. But thank you very much, Gavin. Thank you for your question. David Todd now asks, do you think that Raskin and Gassama should get dropped? They are offering nothing, and Raskin is easily distracted. The Celtic game, the Celtic game, with their defenders there on his head. It's interesting for me. I actually made a a kind of tongue-in-cheek comment about Conor Barron on Sunday, where I felt like he came on the park and did more than Raskin had done in the past few months by completing passes and playing passes in the correct area of the pitch as well, not in front of the back four, in the opponent's half, getting the ball in the middle of the pitch and moving it well. I thought Barron, for being out for as long as he's been, I thought he was spot on. And I thought Raskin must be looking at him and going, oh no, I'm going to get dropped, because I think he did more than what Raskin did. And that might be me being a wee bit over the top, but I genuinely did believe that. I've said for ages, Raskin's not kicked a ball pretty much all season for me. I think he's been so poor. And Gassama, after such a promising start from him, he's just one of the most frustrating guys in the world to watch playing football. He really is. He's got pace, he's got ability. He just, final decisions is just all over the place. Yes, he's maybe getting shoehorned into the team by playing on the right hand side, and he should be on the left, etc., etc. Again, you're a professional football player against St Mirren. You should be doing more, in my personal opinion. So I would drop both of them, especially with Barron coming back in. I think Barron looks ready. He looked keen, and I know Barron has his limitations, but right now I think it would be a good, Ryan, would it be a good little wake-up call maybe for Nico Raskin to not start the next game? Or maybe Aberdeen game he's probably going to start, let's be honest, but as competition's healthy, and I don't think the competition's been there for Raskin. I think he knows he's one of the first names on the team sheet right now, which I don't always think works unless you are playing at your best, and I don't think he has. And you can obviously have your say in Gassama as well.
Yeah, it's a good question. Me personally, I think Raskin's been stealing a living a bit in the past few months, Carney. I think he's been so poor in a time when we really needed him. And I'm going back to like before the Motherwell game, like well before it. I know he scored in that game, but he just got that run he does it like once every 10 games or something, where he just seems to have a burst of energy and plays a 1-2 and breaks the lines, and you're like, why do you do that more often? His passing has been, and you're right to call it out, mediocre. It's been so poor lately. In a time again when we really needed him. He's biting at Celtic, and we could sit again and talk for half an hour about how poor that Celtic team is, biting against a really poor Celtic team when he should be running amok against a Celtic midfield like that, a Celtic midfield who didn't have Callum McGregor in it.
Yeah.
He's been so disappointing. This season for me was a season that he should have really kicked on, grabbed the armband as well and said, I'm ready to take this club to the next level. And he hasn't, and I agree with you. I think Barron looked sharp on Sunday. And if his fitness is there, then he plays before Raskin. I think it'll be a few weeks till he's maybe at that level. But yeah, I think he's been so poor. They'll be worried that Conor Barron he'll be hoping Conor Barron doesn't have a Belgian auntie or that, because he would take his place in the Belgium squad. Who was the other one we're speaking about? It was Raskin and Gassama. Gassama's a weird one. He started the season flying, as you said, and he looked as if we might have a signing right, and he's just fallen off the face of the earth. I appreciate he's a winger, confidence player. It's very clear he is a confidence player. But how do you get that confidence back? Do you need to play yourself out? He's been given numerous opportunities. But again, I don't know what his best position is. A player like that always makes me wary. Is he best in the left? Is he best in the right? Why do I not know this? Is it because he doesn't play well enough? Yes, it is. So I don't know what we're doing with him. It's a weird one. Do you persevere with him? Do you put him out on loan? I don't know. It's just another difficult one. We need to decide what we're doing with him. But he's been poor as well. So I think the two of them, for me, if you have replacements, then you definitely drop them at this stage, because at the time of the season, again, I'll say they have both not performed when we most needed them.
Ali?
Raskin, I don't think he's played great all season, to be honest. So yeah, I mean, Conor Barron, we talked about when he came on. I thought instantly he's seen him moving the ball quicker, which is what we want the midfield to do. And Raskin, he just looks, I don't know, his passing as well is abysmal. Many times he passes the ball out of the park. It's every game now you're seeing it. He looks like a guy that, like I say, he's one, I think, will leave in the summer. He has to leave in the summer. And Conor Barron, if he's fit enough, I think you'll see more of Conor Barron from now to the end of the season. I think he's probably got a big part to play from now to the end of the season. Interesting who he plays in that 3. Diamandi apparently is maybe getting surgery on his shoulder after that injury against Celtic. So what does he do with that midfield? Does he play the 3 of them at times? Chukwueze, Raskin, Barron? I don't know. But Raskin's been very disappointing. And Raskin, since he's been at Rangers, he's really had purple patches. He's not really had a full season where you've went, wow, he was unplayable. He's had wee patches. And a lot of the patches he's had is when we were out of a title race, let's be honest about it. There was no pressure. So, he's not done enough for me. Gassama, so frustrating, Gassama, because he's got all the tools for a winger. Electrifying pace, he can go by players, he can score. We've seen it. We know the trademark goal that he scores. I felt a bit sorry for him at the start of the season, where Russell Martin's tactic was get the ball to Gassama and hopefully he does something. And then you thought Danny Rule come in, worked with him under at Sheffield Wednesday, would get the best out of him. And for some bizarre reason, continually plays him on the right-hand side, whether it's to have Moore more on the left-hand side and he thinks, right, well, I'll play Gassama there because he doesn't trust anyone else. But I feel for him because it just doesn't work for him on the right-hand side, and he's starting to become a whipping boy with the Rangers fans, Gassama. He's a player that I think we can make money on in the summer. I know, was it Villarreal were rumoured in January? If somebody come in the summer and offered Rangers reasonable money for him, I think they would maybe look at it. I do have a couple of guys in my work that are big Sheffield Wednesday fans, and they did say to me that when Gassama signed, just he can be brilliant or he can be absolutely fucking awful. And they did say that at Sheffield Wednesday he had a season where he was good and then he just fell away completely, similar to what's happening now with him. So unfortunately that's what wingers are, but there's potential with him, but he's extremely frustrating. And he looks one of these bloody moody players, Carney, that he can't be arsed at times.
I hate that.
He just has that.
I was going to say that.
He just has
I was
that.
going to say that. You see, I think he looks as if he's got a bit of an attitude problem. I think any time he gets taken off or it doesn't fall his way, there seems to be a bit of toys at the pram with him. And everybody knows, everybody in the chat knows, you will not last here with that. Like, whether it's opposition fans ripping you or your own fans, he won't like his attitude looks stinking. I was going to call that as well.
Yeah, no, it's his body language isn't great. And then you look at boys
when he walked up for that penalty as well, perfect example. Did any of you believe he was going to score it?
Craig left the stadium, for Christ's sake, he knew. His body language isn't great. And you look at boys like Mikey Moore, who kind of plays on the left, or he's kind of got a free role. He's got the right attitude, Mikey Moore. He's constantly trying. Gassama, I mean, against St Mirren, and he was playing on the right-hand side, let's remember that. He was dreadful, absolutely dreadful. He actually had a shot after about 10 minutes, and he hardly even hit the ball, trickled away. But our big issue is we don't have anyone on the right-hand side because they're all crap. Through the ball, so we're having to put him out there. So it's a position that's been we've really struggled with the right hand side, and I know Cherny was there last season.
What's Candias up to nowadays?
Yeah, I think he's still playing.
My phone.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at the right hand side, we've had so many players play there. Kamara Roof's even played out there. Joe Aribo, Scott Arfield. Cherny was probably the first one, probably since Candias, that was a proper out-and-out winger on the right-hand side, go by players, score goals, and we've really not had that at all. We thought Olsen may be the answer, and he's been an absolute disaster so far. So, yeah, Gassama, I feel for him at points, but I don't think he helps himself.
I completely agree. Thank you very much, David, for the question. Callum with a belter here. Callum G. Unfortunately, we're on with wine boys, mate. You're in the red wine club with these two. But what are the boys' top 3 beers? What is your top 3 beers? Now, What I will say is mine differ. So if I'm having a drink in the house, it differs from what I would drink if I was out at the pub. Because my favourite beer that I like to drink was previously of this podcast, Mr. Jamie Lowe introduced me to it. It was a German beer called Lager Beer Hell or something it was called. Like Hell's Lager. Honestly, with a beer, absolutely superb. So that'd be my favourite in the house. When I'm out, match days is usually Tennent's, and I'll whisper sometimes a Tennent's tops. And I do like Cruz Campo. It gives me a banging headache, but so I can't drink it. And my favourite, different one from that is Neck Oil, the kind of IPA. I think that's class. But yeah, they're probably my three. So right, red wine, boys. Is it a I don't even know what red wines are called. Ali, is a Merlot and a Chardonnay is not red, is it not?
Sauvignon, you've got a Mal.
Sauvignon. There you go, man. I hate red wine. Can't stand it, man.
That's what happens, Carrie. When you turn 40, you'll come into this red wine club.
Trust me, I won't. Top three beers, Ali.
Same as you, and it's very boring, and a lot of guys will go, that's fucking piss water if they want to say, but Tennent's for me. I just think it's a steady lager. As you say, Cruz Campo, I like a Cruz Campo, but about four of them would give me a banging headache the next day. A Tennent's is one you can drink. You can drink a lot of Tennent's, basically, especially if you're going to football and that. So yeah. I think it's quite light, easy to drink. Go with a Tennent's. What I do like, I don't find it really much anymore. I actually did find it in a pub in Great Western Road. I like a Kronenbourg Blanc on draft. I do like that. Problem, I'd like Scott and the Viceroy to get it on tap if he could, but it's one of the ones that you can only have a few of them. You couldn't drink it all night. But I do like a Kronenbourg Blanc. And another lager, Christ.
The Victoria Malaga's all right as well in the pub that they put in. That's not a bad pub.
Yeah, it was nice.
Again, it's a bit sweet, but I couldn't have a mass. Same as the Neck Oil. When I have a pint of Neck Oil, I can't drink that all night. I'll have like 2 or maybe 3 of them, and then I'll go back to lager usually.
Another one I like, but you don't really get it here unless you went to some fancy arty pub that has lots of bottles of beer. A Superbock when you go to Portugal. I quite like a Superbock. That's quite nice. But yeah, I'll go with A3. Yeah,
Ryan, you're a Guinness man.
Yeah, I could drink Guinness. I can definitely drink Guinness. I'm quite pernickety with it. I'll taste the Guinness in a bar.
And by this, and the Viceroy are not paying me to say this, the Viceroy do a cracking Guinness. I know that. I know they do a really
decent
good
Guinness in there, yeah. I can drink Guinness. I'm not a massive beer drinker. I only drink it when I'm out. Like if I'm out, it's no something that I don't overly enjoy beer. It's weird saying that because you've seen me drink 10, 15 pints of it, but I end up doing, like, if you said to me, could you gear a beer up? I could give it up no bother as long as I've got my red wine. I don't get half enjoyment out of a pint of wine. A pint of wine. Yeah. I do drink in moderation. 175 glasses. My mum and dad are watching this, so 175 glasses I drink. But no, I fight. I'm so an age, as Ali said, that I'm 40 and 41 actually, and the comfort I take, I drink a red wine sitting in front of my log burner is ridiculous.
Like, it's lovely, isn't it?
I
brilliant.
Love it, but there's no beers really that I've mentioned yet. You boys haven't mentioned. I don't mind that. Is it Leffy you call it?
Leffy,
yeah. I don't mind it. I think it's okay. But there's nothing there. I like a Cruz Campo. I was in Tenerife last week and the Tennent's was rotten in the pub I was drinking in, but it was an Irish pub, so and I was drinking Cruz Campo, and it was quite nice. But I would agree it gives you a banging headache.
It does. It gives you a hell of a head the next day. It really does. But I don't want to be as if I'm like a seasoned pro at this, but as the seasons change, my drinks change. Like I drink bourbon in the winter, and I drink gin usually in the summer. Do you know what I mean? So like it just tends to change. But I always drink Tennent's going to the football. But then I don't mind like when it's nice when that 1 week that we get a year, I'll have like Coronas and Sols or whatever, just with lime in it, just because I don't know, it's just what you do. So I kind of change, but yeah. Yeah, but Tennent's is just it's your staple, isn't it? It's just your staple of what you drink when you go to the football. It always has been, and that came from my dad as well. Though, like my dad didn't drink tops. My dad drank bottoms because he always made the barmaid put the lemonade in first in order, and then pour a pint on top of it because he claimed it mixed through the beer better. Honestly, if you knew my dad, then you would understand. But yeah, a lager bottoms. So and. He's got a plaque in the pub where my dad used to drink that says lager bottoms, please.
That's too funny.
which is brilliant, man. Which is brilliant.
I've got a quick counter question. Can I ask a quick counter question? We've got time for it.
Go for it.
What's your one drink you absolutely despise then?
Strongbow. I can't drink a Strongbow. I can drink cider, but not that. I can't. The taste of it, and everything, because I did all sorts of damage to myself when I was young, mate, drinking that stuff, and I can't even the smell of it. I'm like, the missus went to the shop during the summer. I said, pick us up like 4 ciders, like nice ciders, pick us up nice ones, and she went to Aldi, and she, obviously in Aldi you don't know what's what basically, and she brought home these cans, and I looked at them and I went, oh, that's Strongbow. That's the Strongbow equivalent, Aldi's equivalent. As soon as I opened it, mate, I was like, what, dry heave. I was like, what? No, not a chance. I can't stand it. And I can't drink vodka because I would start a world war from this room if I drink vodka. So I just can't drink vodka. So it's one of those drinks that doesn't agree with me. Ali, what drink can you just not go?
I don't like. Oh.
Me and Ali say this all the time. I wish I liked Guinness. I don't like Guinness. Like,
well, I know. I've tried to get into Guinness because March is a Guinness connoisseur.
Tommy as well. Tommy
drinks it as well. And the thing about Guinness is, I think it looks really nice, and then I drink it and go, oh, I don't know. But that's whether I've not had a good Guinness, I don't know. But I can drink Guinness, but I wouldn't choose it. Probably lagers that I don't like to drink.
Foster's. Carling. Budweiser tea. Budweiser's rotten, absolutely rotten.
Oh, that's
but see when I'm in a pub, right, and somebody orders Budweiser when they've got so many other beers available, and somebody orders a Budweiser, I'm like, are you for real? You're ordering a Budweiser? And out of all the drinks that you can drink, you're going to drink a Budweiser? I hate Budweiser.
Somebody put a Beck's, and that is rotten as well.
Beck's rotten and all. Miller, I've had a bottle of Miller many moons ago. Disgusting. No, not a fan of that at all. Miller's not something you see very often in the UK now. Isn't it? Yeah. But no, yeah, they sort of beer's rotten, man, absolutely rotten. But is that I think what we're talking about? We're talking about Rangers, not talking about drinking. It's midweek. It's a school night. But yeah, what's yours? Is the one that sticks out?
Tequila. I can't be doing. I don't like shots. Full stop. They just seem to. It's like a slingshot, and it just brings everything up. I can't do shots. But tequila.
Zambuca, no chance. There's just no chance I'll be taking something like that. Tequila, if it's a really good tequila, I don't mind taking it. That's fine.
You'll have a baby Guinness, don't you? Baby
Guinness is so dangerous, man. Like a baby Guinness is very, very dangerous. Your 40th, Ali, I had like a full tray of baby Guinness to myself, mate. Yes. Anyway, we'll get back to Rangers questions. I see time's marching on, but thank you, Callum. David has asked us the last one from the post, and I'll come to the ones in the chat as quickly as I can. Why do we look shattered after 60 minutes, Ali? It is a real concern. We look dead on our feet at times, mate, and at this stage of the season, shouldn't really be the case.
I don't know. We looked at... That's a few games now recently. We've all, in our group chats, or said to each other, watching it, why are we blown here? Absolutely blown. Even when we played Celtic, trying to the second game, whatever it was, I think it was the first game. Because they were in Europe, wasn't it? We looked like the team that was in Europe because we were absolutely blown out our arse. And folks say, Rangers put everything in the first half and all that, but I'm not reading into that. Rangers had a week to prepare, and again against St Mirren, we look leggy again. I don't know, because and we've said it in our group chat, under Gerrard and Gio as well, Rangers were very fit. I mean, you remember under Gio, I mean, we were going to Europa League final, we were playing 2 games a week. There was that one, Carney, where we played Braga, it went to extra time. And then we played Celtic in the semi-final of the Scottish Cup. That went to extra time, and we looked a fitter team in that game. I remember a big Bassey run all the way down and crossed the ball in, and Sakala was there. I think it was an own goal, but we looked really fit as a team. At the moment, we don't look fit at all. We look very leggy. Gives me the fear that here we're maybe going into a summer camp when the semi-finals of the Scottish Cup is on. The only upside is it will not be Dubai we're going to, but it gives me the fear when we go and do these things because we never appear after these types of trips. But I don't know what it is, Carney. But you can see it. You can see it now that visibly that we just look leggy, and you wonder why, because we're not playing games in between at the moment. We're playing 1 game a week, and I don't know what it is. I really don't. No, the thing is, nobody's really asked Danny Rule about it in the presser, why we look leggy. So it'd be interesting if somebody would ask him.
Because he would say, no, we're the fittest we've ever been. He'll say the opposite, won't he? He's kind of like that a little bit. Science. Yeah, sports science says we're the fittest team in Scotland. Oh, brilliant, aye. It kind of ties in with Mr. Muir Senior's question as well, Ryan. Ali brought it up there in terms of this mid-season training camp during the Scottish Cup weekend. It didn't work under Gerrard, mate. I don't see the need for it. I don't think Rangers should be doing it. We should be staying here and concentrating on things. It is concerning the levels of fitness we seem to show at times when we just look kind of dead on our feet. And I know we're only playing once a week. Is that a help or a hindrance?
I never hear these camps unless the team's losing. Like I just, it's the only time I hear these is when a team's not doing well, and I don't know, it just doesn't seem like the right time for us. Like, I don't know. No, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. The fitness is definitely a massive issue. We've all called out separately on the group chat. I don't think you get that back now at this stage of the season. I think this is the way we'll be to the end of the season. But that is one of the many red flags for me, but that's a huge red flag of this coaching staff for me, that they don't have these players absolutely primed, because we are not. Like, the Celtic game, could you have excused it? You could make excuses of, as Ali said, they put everything into the first half, blah, 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 but it's not really acceptable. But against St Mirren, how leggy we are, how slow we are to move the ball, it has an effect on us. How slow we pass the ball at the back from goalkeeper. Goalkeeper's told to hold on to the ball until we're in a certain shape, until the midfielders moved, etc. So we are so slow on the ball. We're slow off the ball. Nobody's making runs quickly. It's just everything's so slow, and then we look unfit when a team's going at us, and that's a reflection of this coaching staff. I'll just bring them up again because I bring them up every podcast, and I feel as if I speak about them every podcast. Gerrard's team aren't like that. Like, Gerrard's team will not allow that to happen. His team are fit, always burning it off the ball. And I just think there are questions. Ali's right. Somebody needs to ask a question, whether it's to Roll, whether it's to his assistant, whatever. Why are this team unfit? Does Roll have to come back and say, I need a pre-season with them? They weren't fit when I got here. That's the reason. But this camp thing for me, Ali, Carney, I don't like them. I don't like, especially when you're not winning. Like, just get the time in at Auchenhowie and get your fingers out your arse and start winning games.
Play a bounce game behind closed doors. Do whatever you need to do. There's just no need to up sticks and go. There's just no need for it, in my opinion. Like, I just don't. No, I don't see the point in it. I don't see what benefit it's going to bring at all from everything that can be done here.
At least we're not going to Loch Lomond or anything like that. So.
yes, there is that, mate. There is that, but yeah, I mean, the facilities that we've got, then why do we need to be going elsewhere with the facilities that are at Ibrox, Auchenhowie even? Why? I just don't really understand it. So yeah, I hope it doesn't come to anything. Thank you very much to, and I've closed that. Who was it that asked that? David, for asking that question. Thank you very much. And also Muir Senior. We'll go to Muir Junior now. Very good evening, lads. When we get Curtis back from his loan spell, can you honestly see him staying and warming the bench, or will Danny do the right thing and get him in the first team? Ryan, I'll come to you first, mate. I think he's a better option than what we have right now. Not going to lie.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I called it when we let him go. I was like, what is he? Is he not as good as what we were saying at the time, as Ant-Man was saying at the time? And I felt as if every time Finlay Curtis come on, and we're even talking about, if you think back to the first Old Firm game of the season, which was another shocker, the 0-0 game at Ibrox, wasn't it? And I remember Finlay Curtis coming on that game, and he was the only one who really tried to do something. He always wants to run with the ball, and I say this about young players. Young players are going to have, whether it's going to be Bailey Rice or Finlay Curtis or whoever it is, they're going to play for Rangers. They're going to have bad games, Carney, and you need to let them have the bad games, and you need to nurture them and let them play out themselves out of that, and then sit them out the team, let them know what they've done wrong, then let them go again. You can't just, he wasn't a very good GAT game, he's not good enough for Rangers. They need to develop into first team football as well as through their youth career. So for me, Finlay Curtis was always positive, and he's a winger as well. So wingers aren't going to beat their man every time, but he's proactive on the ball. He's young. I mean, I'm a bit biased. I told you when they scored that goal in Europe, and he's down at the fans, and you could see in his face, he was nearly crying. And I just looked at him and I thought, God, I can't even imagine what that feels like. I've dreamt about it 100 times to score for the team you love. I want to see that in the team, whether it's off the bench, 20 minutes, 10 minutes. Try and bring somebody through, Carney, because we are absolutely terrible at doing it. Try and bring the boy through and try and let him develop. He didn't play well. I started you today. I'm bringing you off at half time because it wasn't your day. We'll go again next week, but we just don't do it with young players. He'll get popped out loan. We'll bring him back, whether it's a new manager, whether it's not, whether it's Roll. If it is Roll, I don't think Roll will give him his chance. If it's a new manager, he'll probably give him his chance. We'll pop him out loan again, then we'll just let him run his contract and he leaves. That's how I see it with Finlay Curtis, which is such a shame because what I've seen with him in Kilmarnock, and the boys or ladies in the chat might correct me, anytime I've seen him with Kilmarnock, he's threatening teams, and I don't mean just like your lower league, your St Mirren's or whatever. He looks as if he plays well against Celtic, Hearts. So why can he not do that for us? I do think it was the wrong decision to let him go. From a development point of view, it's probably the best thing for Finlay Curtis. But I'm a Rangers fan. I want to see him play. I want to see him doing bits for Rangers, 20 minutes here and there.
I think a spin-off to that, Ali, as we always say, there's not enough players that get it. There's not enough players that get what it means to play for Rangers. Finlay Curtis for me is one that, I don't think he's perfect. I think there's still a bit to go with him, yes. But I have never looked at him once and thought, get him off, or like he's been a disaster, or maybe when he get played out of position, one game I think it was, he get played kind of out of position and he wasn't the best, but he constantly shows for the ball. He's energetic, he's wanting to make a point, he wants to make a name for himself at the club, he supports the team, as Ryan said, what it meant to him when he scored. All of those things just tick boxes for me, and they're few and far between nowadays. Rangers should be harnessing that.
Yeah, well, I mean, historically, you look at young guys that have come through and what happens to them, and what Ryan said that he thinks that may happen to Finlay Curtis have happened to lots of bright young players that have come through Rangers. But I watched him against Hearts. I watched the first half against Hearts. I thought he was very good. Taking this guy on, he nearly scored. He hit the post actually as well against Hearts as well. But always looked a threat. Always wanted to try and take his man on. Right attitude. Even when he was at Rangers beginning of the season, scored a few crucial goals for us. He had something about him. And it'll be interesting what we do with him. I did see he's been called up to the Scotland squad as well, which is good for him. So he's obviously Steve Clark's. I seen he was in the crowd against Kilmarnock Hearts. So I obviously seen him and thought, we'll give him a shot and see what he does for Scotland.
Conveniently, though, when he's not playing for Rangers, I'm just saying, just conveniently when he's not playing for Rangers, he's decided, I'll call him up now.
Yeah, but that'll be a good moment for him in terms of his career, in terms of playing for his country. So that's good for him. But he'll want to come back in the summer. He won't want to come back in the summer and sit on the bench next season for Rangers because he'll be wasted, like Ryan says. He'll want to come back and play in the first team. Play dare I say it, like a Ross McCausland that season, get 20, 30 games next season under his belt at Rangers. That's probably what he's looking to do next season and try and cement himself in that Rangers team. And you look at the wingers we've got, and is he a worse option than he's a better option than a lot of these guys we have currently at the moment. I mean, he plays on the left for Kilmarnock. That's probably his best position. He can play on the right. We've seen him play on the right. And you look at our right-hand side at the moment. Tell me Finlay Curtis, can he play on the right-hand side for us or even the left at the moment? Probably could. I think he's a good impact player as well. With 20 minutes to go and you look for a goal, He's very dangerous. So, yeah, it'll be very interesting summer what we do. And, yeah, we need to try and give these guys a chance because we might as well sack the youth team altogether if there's not a pathway for these boys. You've got to give them a go. And as Ryan says, they may have a couple of games with a crap or whatever, but you've got to bring them in and out at the right times and put the shoulder over the arm and say, look, we'll, as Ryan says, we'll go again. And I think the Rangers support will get behind players like Finlay Curtis. If it's a bad game, but you see he's got the right attitude, we'll get behind him because we want to see one of our own, dare I say it, make it in the Rangers team. So it'll be interesting this summer. And I hope he comes back. Sorry, Ryan.
Don't know. I've interrupted you. Don't you think we do that with Moore? Don't you think the perfect example is Moore is a young boy who clearly has a lot of talent and is going to go like Premier League high, whatever, right? And you see a game like Sunday, it wasn't his game. Like, I thought Moore was really poor on Sunday, but we know he's got the talent, so we let it go. We let it go and we just go, do you know what, Moore's got it, so it'll be next week, it'll be this weekend. You know he's a good player. Why do we not do that with our own players like Finlay Curtis or, you know, like players who have shown potential? We don't allow them to have that bad game where we go, it was just a bad game. That's all right. You're a young player. You're learning. In 4 or 5 years, we'll get the full potential of you. The comparison between the two isn't that far away. I know they're different levels of players, but they've both got talent. They both show something and then can fall out the game or have a poor game. And we just don't. It's almost like because Moore's not came through at Rangers, we're not patient. We're more patient with him.
Yeah. I do. I absolutely get it. And I think, as I said, even as an impact player, surely he's going to make more of a difference than when we've looked at the bench and you're kind of going, say Olsen started and you're bringing on Gassama and you're like, neither of them can fucking kick their own arse right now, and you're like, what you would do for a bit of energy and a bit of belief in them. And Mikey Moore, as I say, he's just a guy that's going to go into big things. I do genuinely believe that. I hope it's not the famous last words from me, but I think he will go into big things. He's a boy clearly with talent, but he's immediately came here and he's immediately got it. He's like looked at Rangers and went, fucking right, I'm all about this and I can make a name for myself here. And you seen the way he performed, especially in that first half against Celtic at Ibrox. He was unplayable. Celtic literally didn't know what to do with him. They really didn't. But again, it's just still belief and confidence, and maybe it's an age thing as well. Who knows? But yeah, Curtis, I would hope he comes back and he has a future at Rangers because I do like him. I do like him. So I'm just noticing time. We've got 3 more here just to fire through. I'm sorry I'm not going to get to everybody's. Again, if you do want your question answered for certain, then make sure you get signed up to the channel. As I say, our members do get their questions answered first. Where did I have I done there? So this one will be rather quick. Stevie G coming home from Andrew. I look, cards on the table. You all know it was not as clear as day that I did a welcome party for Steven Gerrard coming back to Rangers. That came back and smashed me right in the face before we appointed Danny Rule. If I'm being honest, I think the ship's probably sailed now. I don't think it will be Steven Gerrard moving forward, even if Danny Rule was to go. So for me, as much I would love to see it and as much I did want to see it, I don't think it's going to happen now. Ali?
I think Danny Rule will be there in the summer. I think he'll get a pre-season. I think he'll get a crack at next season, unless the end of this season goes tits up, to be polite. But yeah, I think Danny Rule will be there next season. Yeah, I agree. I think the ship sailed with him. I know you've seen interviews of why he didn't come, the time wasn't right, etc. There wasn't certain things that were right. would he come potentially further down the line? You never know. You never know in football, to be honest. But I can't see it, can I, if I'm being honest.
Right.
I can't see it. I completely agree with you, boys. You know how much I love Gerrard. I absolutely love him. I don't see it happening. I think Rangers are moving in a different direction now, and I think Steven Gerrard's moving in a different direction with his career as well now.
Yeah, absolutely. Staunchy Geezer has said, do you think Nadiri will come good? I've got a feeling he'll be a flop. Ali, I won't lie. I think his work rate's superb. I think it's great. Can't fault that for him. There is a distinct lack of quality there. And right now, yes, he started pretty well, but right now I think it's looking like that he's made the step up in terms of football, in terms of steps in football. Basically, I think he looks like it's went up a notch for him. I think he's struggling a little bit to make real impacts in games. There's a lot off the ball work. I don't want to be too critical of the guy because he does do an awful lot off the ball work, but an out and out finisher right now, I'm not really seeing it. I think there's work to be done.
Yeah, and you need to remember he came from German, the third division. He came from in Germany.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And he comes to Scotland, and I know you think German players are quite robust, physical players, but you come to Scotland where there's a lot of hammer throwers here, and his body's probably adjusting to Scotland at the moment. He does a lot of the way we play with Chermiti. He does a lot of the donkey work for Chermiti. He's a bit of a kind of workhorse, if you want to say. But he's not scoring goals, and obviously strikers are that's what you base him on, scoring goals. Chermiti's not scoring either. I know he scores against Celtic and Hearts, but against these other teams he doesn't score either. So yeah, it's I know I love to judge players right away, but Nadiri's not one. I've seen enough in Nadiri in terms of I think there's something to work with there, and it'll be interesting with the last 8 games, a pre-season, the start of next season, depending on what players we've got, what he brings. But I think he could come good in Nadiri. I really do. I've seen enough of him that I think there's bits of him, but I really think he's adjusting to Scottish football. I think a lot of these guys that come to Scotland don't realise the physicality of it at times, and they struggle. And you see some top players from England coming up to Scotland, and they just struggle up here. You've seen it with Joe Rothwell, absolute shadow of a player that played down the Championship of England, just couldn't cope with it up here. But Nadiri, I'd like to see him with a full pre-season at Rangers next season, what he's like. So, yeah, I think there's something to work with there.
Yeah, Ryan, I say don't want to be too overly negative on him. I just think he's not quite the finished article yet, but he's not one that's offended me yet.
Yeah. No, he was never going to be, Carney. He's came from the third division in Germany, and that's not his fault. Rangers are coming in and signed him, so this will be a big culture shock for him. He's also playing in an absolutely horrendous attacking system that with a team who do not create chances, and for a striker, that's an absolute nightmare. So I think there's a lot in his defence. He does work hard, and his midfield create him absolutely zero. So I'm willing to just give him time. Hopefully he ends up playing a system that suits and they start creating chances for him, and then we might see something from him. So yeah, time's on his side for me a bit.
Yeah, and we'll finish with this one, a bit of an interesting question from Albert's 11 legend. Have you ever pulled out of an important event/occasion for a Rangers game? If so, what was the event and what game was it? Off the top of my head, I can't think of any, but I have previously, not with this current employer, I have previously called in sick to make a Rangers game, and it was the game, remember, we kicked off at 5:45 in the Europa League at Ibrox. I can't remember who we were playing, who we played that game, but remember they made the decision to put the game on at Ibrox at 5:45. I pulled a sickie that day to go to the game, but I can't remember one like a massive event or occasion that I've thought I really shouldn't be going to Ibrox. I don't think, not that I can remember anyway off the top of my head. Any of you boys got one?
Yeah, I've got two. During the Europa League run that season, we were playing, I'm going to guess it was somebody like Motherwell on a Wednesday night or something, and I had a work thing down in Birmingham, that I had to be down, and I chose not to stay. I chose to drive through the night after that game and work in the morning to go into
dedication, mate.
Which is dedication, so I should get a good few Managerial points for that. But the worst one I did was when I moved into the flat I'm in now, and I generally was moving in that weekend. It was my cousin's wedding on the Sunday of the week I was moving at my flat, and his wedding was a Sunday, and the old firm at Ibrox was a Sunday. And I made the excuse that, I've just moved into my flat and I'm actually unpacking stuff and I need to do it. And did I shit? I went to the Rangers game. We get beat off of them 2-0.
Obviously.
And then I went to his wedding. They all knew I'd went to the bloody game. Didn't help, that half his pals are bloody from that side of the city. So yes, that was a bad one for me in terms of missing a full wedding.
Yeah, I mean, in my house, I consider yourself lucky, mate, because we went to that game when Rangers were playing Hearts and Murrayfield that day, and we watched it on. I think it was on Darren's phone. I think we watched it. Ryan,
mine's probably more of a wee kind of short story. Is we worked at the same place many moons ago, Carney, and I remember having a conversation with a manager saying, I need annual leave on Sunday the 12th. I'm going to Aberdeen. So I've got a ticket for Pataudry. You can't, such and such, the team's off that day. And I was like, cool, because there's something you can do. No, there's nothing I can do. I'll be there. So what we're doing here? And no, you can't. You need to work. And I was like, this will be a disciplinary if you want to just start it just now, because I am going to that game on Sunday. They managed to pull something together, and I think they put the department I was working in. You're in charge of certain call levels, and I think they just amalgamated the department, and I think I got a bit of a talking to. But I was ready to just walk out of the place just for a game at Pataudry, which is no surprise with me. But that was it. Ready to pack my job in over one game at Pataudry.
It wouldn't take much to pack in the job at that place we used to work, mate. I would need much of an excuse. Not need much of an excuse to go. I'm out. I'm out.
It's in the past, and if MD watching, I'll say nothing. Aye, it's someplace.
It's someplace, yeah, absolutely, mate. It was not many places like it. That'll do us for tonight. Generally love doing these podcasts. Honestly, it's a break for us as well from the norm, to get your input, get your questions. Again, thank you to all our channel members. Really do appreciate it, and the support. Again, if you want to make sure you get your question answered next time we do one, then make sure you sign up to the channel, because we definitely start with these guys first. So really do appreciate that, and appreciate everybody getting involved with some really good questions. And I'm going to try and look up a red wine that I might enjoy, but I seriously doubt that's going to happen. For tonight, Ali, thanks, mate.
No problem. Yeah, no, good questions by the listeners today, and it's put me in the mood for a red wine, but it's probably too late for having a red wine now. But you need to get there. Once you hit 40, Carney, that's when it changes. That's when it changed for me. And
I'm not that far away from 40 now, mate. I'm not.
Well, that's when I fell into Mr. Haymarch's Red Wine Club. So, yes, when you hit 40, you can join our wine club.
You sit in your button-down pyjamas, mate, with your house coats on next to the fire and your wing-back chairs, swallowing your wine. No, it's got good legs and that. That's usually.
Me and Haymarch sent photos of our red wines to each other.
I know you fucking know you do. I know you do. Yeah. Honestly. Ryan, thanks, mate.
Thank you, guys. That was good. I really needed a laugh there. Much appreciated. Thanks for everybody sending their questions in. Some cracking questions there. And thank you, guys. I hope everyone enjoys their week.
Yeah, we'll be back on Friday with Club Live to preview the game against Aberdeen, which is a rather strange kickoff of 5:45 on Saturday evening. But the mother's coming down, so I might be able to play a free pass on Saturday, which I'm very much looking forward to. But yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you for all your questions, all your input, all our channel members. We really do appreciate it. Well, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, all the usual stuff. And if you are a member, your name's just about to be on screen. So we are Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. Good night, everybody.